is light. Oh my goodness.
Eddie Matthews Bat.
On Switch.
No, I like this one. I haven't held this one yet.
What are you gonna hold?
Air seasoned.
what
What are you gonna hold?
Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to another DC Reviews. I am joined by...
It's fitting that we're holding bats, huh?
Get it?
Because I know Batman Begins!
I'm joined by...
Logan Wilson.
John Martin. Jesse Jamin.
There you go.
Rachel.
Jackson Tubman. Jackson Tubman.
Sorry. Duke
Tubman.
University. Duke University.
That was funny.
But today we're here to talk about Batman Begins. I know we promised we were going to do this. We said we were going to do the Dark Knight Trilogy months ago. Because it was after the Batman.
Yeah, and then I said I hadn't seen it, and you...
My suggestion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Good film.
Okay, so since this is my first time ever seeing this movie, it was good, but it wasn't as polished looking as like Dark Knight. It feels like the first movie in a trilogy. It doesn't feel.
And it's 2005.
It's very grungy looking is the word that I use.
Grungy.
Which for a Batman movie?
Yeah, but like it's more like they polish it more, like the shots they use, the like.
Which I think for the
in Dark
time
Knight.
it looked good because again it's 2005, so like it's obviously not going to look like
What year is Dark Knight?
Dark
2008.
Knight's 8 and then 12 is
But,
Rises.
but I think Dark Knight looks miles better. Like
Yeah.
like
But it's because it's really around this time period where it's like they start to really kind of get that shift of like different camera quality.
Yeah.
it feels like the first movie.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, it's
But it's
amazing.
good.
It's still
nonetheless.
one of the best.
It's good. We kind of talked about it. The origin story is phenomenal. You know.
Yeah. Because I didn't.
It's the first half of the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
And it's needed.
it just didn't click on me before, but it was like this is the only Batman movie to go in depth
With the
origin story.
I mean,
like Michael Keaton's Batman does like occasional here and there. The Batman occasional here and there. But that's it.
But,
You don't
but
even
like
say-
the Batman doesn't talk about like Ra's al Ghul at all.
oh, like in Pattinson's Batman, you don't even see a young Bruce Wayne. You
Mhm.
just you get right into it.
No,
which-
it's just they bring it up. And
Yeah.
then
He
comes
just
up.
Which
is- he
is
just
fair
is the young
because
Bruce
I mean
Wayne.
we've seen that origin
That is
a billion
true.
times. So
But
it's
this
kinda
origin was done very well.
And Batman v Superman, it's like just a couple flashbacks.
I talked about it with them. The kid actor Christian. I know you're not the biggest fan of kid actors, but this kid did a phenomenal
Like-
job.
It's not so much I'm
Christian
not the
like
biggest fan of kid
children.
actors. It's just like I'm a little more skeptical of them because more often than not they don't tend to be as good.
I haven't
But
heard,
I think
I haven't heard a
every-
single kid actor that you like yet.
This one.
because they're
This
children.
one.
He doesn't say anything.
Whoever. Yeah, he barely says them.
He
but
doesn't say a
But
word.
his emotions
Well, he says a
are,
couple.
are
He says
so
stuff
well
at the
done.
beginning.
I'm looking it up.
Yeah.
Because I mean, watching both mom and dad die, you know, he falls into the bat pit, and you
Get
know,
over it.
you all. I mean, yeah, you're
At
in
the funeral.
You're in such a wealthy family, but it's just you and your butler now.
Yeah.
And so I'm sure at whatever age he was thinking he had so many different emotions flowing. So I think the kid actor
The
did
kid
a really
actor
good
portrayed
job.
it very well. Like the fear in his eyes when his parents get shot. It's just
Yeah.
like you believe it.
Yeah, I agree.
But also getting to where he's grown up. Christian Bale is
He looks so young.
Which is weird because he was probably still almost in his 40s.
Yeah,
He doesn't look
but he looks so
even
young.
close.
And
His character's supposed to be in like when it's like in the between, like there's kid, there's like he's learning
there's like early 20s.
or early 20s
Yeah.
and then he's like 30s, which is the rest of it.
Yeah.
Like lower.
But Christian Bale is one of the best actors
all
to
time.
ever. I mean, ever. Yeah,
All
he's
time.
one of
Yeah,
the
no,
best
stop the
actors.
sentence there. Yeah.
He's one of the best actors to portray a
Christian Bale
superhero.
is not as old as I thought he was.
How old is
48.
he? Really?
I believe it.
So he was 30.
Math is hard, yeah.
Mid-30s.
34.
31.
17
years ago.
2005. I was doing math. For
31.
I was
Freaking
doing math for 2008.
Yeah. So the
Frick.
age that his character is in towards the end of the movie,
It's
about the
perfect.
same as
It's
the
good.
actor, so it's just believable.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good math.
But-
I like that.
Yeah, Christian Bale is probably my favorite Bruce Wayne. I've said it before. My favorite Batman is still Pattinson,
Pattinson, yeah.
but
I think
Hence
okay.
why I
My
wore-
favorite Batman is Pattinson. Dude, Ben Affleck's Bruce Wayne is not that bad.
It's not.
I think
we'll,
it's
we'll,
good.
we'll, we'll touch on that when we
But
start.
when you think of a Bruce Wayne, you
I think of
you
Bale.
Christian
I
Bale.
think Christian Bale.
He's got the
Right.
eccentric billionaire look to him.
He's got the most content.
He's got the most confidence. He's also,
He's
he's got the way with his words. Like he's got the full package.
Yeah.
Um,
And I still really like his Batman.
oh, his Batman is still really
Yeah.
good.
I mean, he's got the most media to work with. I mean, not everybody else has as
And
much.
he's
content.
iconic for his voice that
I
we'll
think
talk
that's
about.
an
A
Yeah,
lot
his voice.
in this trilogy.
Yeah.
His voice, just the very like.
At the time, people were probably like, "Dude, that's a lot."
But
Yeah.
I mean, it's smart because like he doesn't want people to recognize. Oh, that's Bruce Wayne's voice.
And they do a weird thing in Batman versus Superman.
Which we'll touch on again when we get to that.
It's not bad. It's just weird.
Me and Christian, we kind of talked about this. My only flaw really with this movie is that there's a lot of storylines.
That's what I was gonna say.
So
Yeah.
I mean, you have to.
There's a
you
lot
have to-
going on.
when you
Yeah,
get
you
the
have to-
Batman stuff, it's a relief.
You have to connect them all together, and like you just said, like once you get like a Batman scene, like oh, okay, we can relax. Because like when those scenes are on, I feel like you have to focus so much on
I
the
know.
dialogue.
and that makes you pop off for when you do see
Yeah,
his,
because y'all
his
spent a lot
Batman
of time
stuff.
talking about football, and
Yeah, we did talk about football.
I had to keep
basically the
explaining. I had
entire
to keep
time.
explaining like what was happening.
Yeah, so
Because this is the first time I've ever seen this movie, and
yeah,
the only times I've seen it is when my brother watched it. 'cause
But,
he
I
loves
mean-
this movie.
Because you said this is your brother's favorite movie of all time.
either this or like Dark Knight is his favorite movie.
I mean it's not bad or per se, but it's just
It can be a lot.
it can be a lot because
Yeah.
I mean
There's a lot of story, but like there needs to be.
yeah.
It makes you even. It makes the whenever Lucius pulls out the costume, it makes that
Yeah,
Batman. It
Yeah.
it makes
I
that
think
one.
this movie does a good job of handling all the stories. Like, yeah, I can understand like there are a lot. I think this movie does a really good job of like tying it all together. And I don't have a problem if there's like a lot of stories, as long as they're executed well,
Mhm.
and
They're
as long as they're
executed fine,
interesting to
yeah.
watch. So
I agree.
it's like I brought it before. Like it worked well in Infinity War. It didn't work well in X-Men Apocalypse, but I think it works really well in this movie. And before moving on, since we touched on his Batman, I really like Batman's suit.
Yeah, it's a good suit.
I really like it.
Yeah,
like
that's
it.
that's how I feel.
The only thing it looks a little rubbery.
Rubbery. It
Yes,
looks
that's
like
my
a
favorite.
freaking
And then the next
BDSM
one it becomes
thing.
more I guess
Metal,
hard, like it
metal,
looks kind of
It
hard
looks-
plastic.
it gets-
hard, like carbon fiber.
It
kind of
gets
thing.
a touch up, a
But,
major
yeah,
touch
I-
up.
Which they kind of bring up, like,
Glow up.
they bring up in the Dark Knight, which we'll touch on. Like, the other one is, like, it
Right,
allows
I
to
was
move a lot
just-
faster,
It
but,
looks-
it,
yes.
but it takes away some defense.
That's one of my things in this movie. It looks like the most unpractical suit.
Because like you see him moving around, he's just like he has to fully
Yes.
turn. He can't
It
move that
really-
turn at
Oh,
all.
the-
Which,
It looks
which
like
Batman?
he's
Which Batman
wearing
is
a
the bat
tie.
turn?
Yeah.
Which Batman is the bat turn?
That's Keaton.
That's Keaton.
Like, Keaton,
all
like,
of them before like Dark Knight.
yeah, Keaton, like, legit just can't, like, move his neck. Like, Bale
Yeah, he
could-
does.
oh
He
my
does
gosh.
this. And
Bale-
The
Bale
Clooney
could-
one too. It was always so dramatic. It was like he could pick up his body.
Like,
George
Keaton,
Clooney's
Kilmer,
Batman.
and Clooney all had that thing. And Bale, like, in the first one, he sort of can, but he
He's
obviously
sort of,
can't
but
do
he
it.
definitely like.
Yeah,
Like Dark Knight, when he gets a full head rotation, but I'm in a minority. I like this suit more than the Dark Knight one in terms of looks. I think function-wise, the Dark Knight one is obviously better, which we'll touch on next time. But I don't know. I really liked it.
I think Scarecrow's character is very well done. You know,
Yeah, Cillian Murphy did a great job.
Cillian
portraying
Murphy, he's just a great actor, but also like he's just like kind of so calm and methodical about his plan that like.
That's how Scarecrow is.
Yes, I mean that's how Scarecrow's supposed to be, and so like you really don't know when he's gonna attack, and then he'll just put on the suit real quick, and then or not the suit, just the.
But I will say,
The
like,
mask.
yeah,
Mask, yeah.
I will say he's not in as much of this movie as I thought he was gonna be.
Yeah.
if we're being
Which fits because
honest.
he's like a side villain.
He's
Because
a-
the main villain is
he's-
Roz.
yeah, he's
But
a-
Roz is barely. I mean, in the first part,
Roz,
Oh,
first
yeah.
part of the movie, he's
the middle
he-
part, he's not existing.
middle part
Yeah,
he's
he
gone,
exists there.
and
Yeah.
so I guess that's where
Really
Cillian or that's Scarecrow. That's where he kind of plugs in, and
Because he's working for Roz.
yeah, he's working for.
Of the three Dark Knight trilogy movies, this is the most not forgettable necessarily, but like not as
Your villains aren't as impactful.
your villains aren't as impactful
That's fair.
because
yeah.
people talk about like Bane. Some people don't like him. Some people like him.
My dad hates Bane.
The
Like
And
this.
some people will say Joker made Dark Knight. Like he's the reason
yeah
that the
yeah
movie's
this
good.
yeah it goes it.
But you can't really say
It
that.
goes from this who are they're not underwhelming. They're good villains. It's just they're right behind one of the
I
best
will admit,
villains
like,
in cinematic history.
I will admit, like, I love all the villains, but I will admit, it's like definitely not the best villains of the trilogy.
Yeah.
I say that goes to Dark Knight.
They're not boring, but they're just there. You know,
They're not appealing.
they're not appealing
Yeah.
That's fair.
because
I think-
because the next villain is just
That's the problem. It's like
it's
I
just
think
another
on
masterpiece.
their own, Roz and Scarecrow are good villains.
They're solid.
I think it's
They're
just
good
because
characters.
They're good characters, and like it makes me like them. I think it's mostly just the fact that who comes right after them.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the main thing. But
Yeah. And we can't. I mean,
We
we're
can't-
gonna.
it's
We're,
kind of unfair.
we're gonna
We can't
keep,
judge the movie
Yeah,
on
we
the
can't.
next
Keep,
movie.
yeah,
Which
we
is
can't keep
that's
comparing.
unfair.
Yeah.
I still think they're not as I still think they're not as appealing. Sometimes they can be boring, but like some
I
of the
like
Scarecrow scenes are good, but I don't
Yeah.
like it as much as I thought I would.
I like them. But
I
one
mean,
thing that I do like this movie over Dark Knight is I like Rachel.
Rachel.
I like her in this movie more
Like
than
as a
I'm mostly
character?
actress. Well,
Act.
I think actor.
He likes her because she's hot.
No, I just prefer the actress.
Yeah.
No, the
Something
actress is a
about-
lot better.
Yeah, I agree with that. But like
As a character, they're equal
you
because
think
it's
it's
the same thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
character, I like him equal in both movies. I prefer this acting more. But yeah, in this movie, I do think Rachel is a good character. Like typical childhood best friend, becomes love interest for like 5 seconds,
And then Bruce is Bruce
and Bruce is
and
Bruce.
ruins it.
Yeah,
And then she says the quote of,
it's not who I am underneath, but what I do that defines me. And then that's
Bars.
and then when Batman says at the end, that's how she figures out Bruce is Batman,
yeah,
which I think is a really great
that's a
touch.
good touch.
Great touch.
I thought the combat in these movies were also very good.
Dude,
Oh,
people,
yeah.
people get messed
Okay,
up.
Yeah.
the scene. Please add this in if you can.
security-
The security guard absolutely just knocking
He
this.
throws himself. You can watch the dude like throw himself.
You know he got paid extra for that.
Bro, he got clobbered.
No, there's a couple times where people get messed up. in
But
this
I think
movie.
the combat's good. At the start of it, like when he first became Batman, he
Oh,
was
the-
a little rusty because he's like we were talking about during the movie. He's a rookie Batman.
It's the
And
same. Yeah.
He develops
Same
throughout the
thing.
entire movie and gets better and better and better. And so
Until he kicks Roz's butt.
well, let's think about it. Gene Gordon not there, Roz probably wins that fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another
Jim
character-
Gordon's even Batman didn't do that. It's Jim.
MVP of the movie is
It's Jim
Jim
Gordon.
Gordon.
Honestly, without Jim, yeah, they would have lost. I don't
Yeah.
know. Yeah. What was the point of Batman going to fight Roz?
I guess
Just to keep him
distracting
distracted.
him.
Yeah,
Or
keep-
I mean, it's
keep
like
him
he was gonna do
distracted.
something about it.
He
to
had a-
make sure he does not leave
He
that
definitely
trip.
had a personal vendetta against Roz, like, oh, like you were my mentor and then you turned bad. Let me
Hey, I'm not gonna kill you, but I'm gonna kill you.
let me prove something. And so I guess he was giving Jim Gordon time, but Jim Gordon,
I thought you were
we talked about in the Pattinson movies, they're more of like a tag team duo. And this one, Jim Gordon's a little skeptical of him, which he has every right to be because the Batman's like first interaction with Jim Gordon, he has a gun to his head.
Yeah.
And
Right.
so
Or gun, which is like a stapler.
yeah, but
Stabler.
you know, I think Gordon is.
Walmart
I think
Batman.
Gordon is done phenomenally. What's this dude? What's his actor's name?
Mustache man.
Oh, Gary Oldman.
Gary
Yeah,
Oldman.
Gary Oldman.
Gary Oldman's good. He does a good job. I think really, there's not really a character I don't like in this.
There
movie.
isn't a single
Oh yeah,
character
the
I don't
casting
like.
here is great. The
The
characters are portrayed so well.
the partner.
Alfred!
The part. Jesus.
That's fine.
What I was gonna say.
Jim on takes push-ups. You can't lift a bloody log.
The partner guy is. He's whatever.
Whatever, moving on. Alfred.
Alfred's go.
He's my favorite
Batman.
Alfred. Any interpretation of Alfred. Comics,
What's the purpose?
games, movies. He's my favorite.
My favorite,
Master
my
Bruce.
favorite outfit is probably Batman vs Superman. I love Jeremy Irons.
He's great.
I love Jeremy
He's
Irons.
so great. But
I do also really like Andy
My
Serkis.
favorite everything is the Arkham games.
All Alfred. That's true. I forgot. Arkham games are.
Arkham
I still
Alfred
say
is
him.
legit.
Another thing.
Arkham
in
is the
any
best
of them.
version of everything.
I think another tiny flaw. I mean, we can go ahead and get towards the. We've kind of started from the beginning, gone in the middle. Now we gotta get to the end.
yeah.
Another thing, you've never really like a good supervillain or superhero movie. I think you need to have that small feeling of, oh my gosh, the villain's about to win. You don't
Yeah.
really get
No,
that. in this
you never
movie.
You
get that.
don't.
You don't get that in
You
this
don't.
movie.
Because you-
His
you-
plan is kind of
Crap.
Just,
Yeah.
It's sort of like just courage seeking fear gas, like watch the city tear itself apart, which is what
Yeah.
Roz said he was going to
Yeah,
do
okay.
at the
Like
beginning.
his motive for tearing down the city is kind of just
Because
because he wanted to.
Yeah.
And
It's-
y'all are beneath me.
and-
Peasants die.
Yeah,
It's
just
mostly
'cause.
It's mostly because at the beginning of the movie, they had said before Bruce like burned the entire place and left, was they were pretty much saying that Gotham is too far gone,
Yeah.
and so it's like they pretty much said and they even said this when they showed it to the mansion. It's just like every couple hundred years or so we come to reset Gotham.
Yeah,
pretty
so the motive is weird, and the next movie the motive is weird because like he's nuts.
Yeah.
So,
And then
they don't have to come up with.
I think
motives.
in the third one, the whole time I'm thinking, oh gosh, Bane's about to win and we're about to get another Batman movie.
That's fair. Which fits because that's then like the final one. So
Yeah.
this one I'm okay with it. Just 'cause it's the first one. Like so you go in the first one like he's
I guess
gonna win.
you do need to establish how dominant Batman is.
Yeah, because it's Batman.
Because it's Batman, and so I like it. That's my only two flaws. There's a lot of storylines, and you don't really see the villain kind of have this upper hand. But
That's fair. But as a first movie, I was okay with it. But I do think for a first movie, it wouldn't hurt to have the villain be a little more like intimidating. Be like,
Yeah.
oh, are they gonna win?
yeah,
Oh, another thing, the Batmobile chase scene and just the Batmobile in general.
Batmobile's dope.
Or it's called
It's-
Tumbler.
It's the Batman chase scene, but it's still very, very good.
It's
because
he's
it's
jumping
the tank.
across
It is a
rooftops.
cool-
Yeah, they don't know what to call it. She goes,
He's
tank.
like, so yeah.
tank.
Even the police officer's like, he's driving that tank.
Yeah.
I think Batman also has some good one-liners in this movie. Like
Yeah.
they're like, where are you? And he goes, here.
Yeah.
I like
There's a lot of like
Just
like
like
slapper hot.
Yeah,
lines.
Do I look like a cop?
What's the one thing that he said that we reacted to? That might have been it. Do I look like a cop?
Do I look like a
That's
cop?
and then
really
he goes,
good.
like the nice coat to the homeless dude. Like
Nice coat.
he just has some good one-liners as Batman. So I like that.
What was another one?
I like the line that he has at the end.
Backwards.
I like the line that he has at the end. You'll never have to.
Oh, yeah,
I
that's
like,
iconic.
I like
movie.
that.
And I do like how the end of the movie does set up Joker with a playing card.
I'm not gonna kill you.
And
I'm not gonna save you either.
I don't have anything else to say. Y'all got anything?
I
I
No,
don't
no.
either.
Solid film.
yeah, not that I can think of, because first Batman solo movie, is first one in the Nolan trilogy, and I think it gets its point across very well.
Yeah, it
So,
starts at the.
It
Let me
starts.
just say, it is not the worst first movie ever.
It's one of my favorites. But
Go ahead and rate it, Christian.
okay, how about you go first?
Oh shoot.
Since you've
Yeah, I
been
mean-
the one going wanting to do
You
Dark
probably
Knight.
already got a number in your head.
I do. I'm gonna start
Shit.
with Batman Begins. I don't want to lowball it, but also
No, lowball it.
I'm gonna go 8. I'm gonna go 8 on the dot. I'm gonna go 8 on the dot.
Wow. Okay.
Dang.
I'm gonna go 8 on the dot. It's solid, but the films to follow are gonna be higher rated because
I try not to.
I like
read
them more.
about-
But no, I mentioned the only really two flaws in this movie are there's a lot of storylines, so it's kind of hard to follow along, and that Ra's al Ghul and Scarecrow aren't really overpowering villains. But it's a great first movie to start. 8 is just kind of, I don't know. I mean,
It's a good movie.
Eight's a great movie.
Yeah, it's a
Like,
really good movie. That's honestly lower than I was expecting you to say.
It's just, again, I know about the next two films because I've watched them so many times that I know I'm going to rate them higher than 8. So I'm going to have this baseline number of 8, and then we're
8's a good baseline for a good trilogy.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna
it's
go
not
8.
bad.
Go ahead, Joe.
So my brother cites this as one of, if not his favorite movie ever, and I wouldn't give it that. I don't. Yeah, again, I know what's coming after, and again, the whole thing about you never feel like Batman's ever gonna lose at any point. I mean, yeah, his house burns down, but like that goes away pretty quick.
Yeah.
Like Alfred saves him. We're good. He never. Yeah. The villains are good. The villains are okay. We can talk about music. The music is really good.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
The soundtrack's
yeah.
baller.
The soundtrack's
You said this about your favorite soundtrack.
Yeah,
in
probably.
any
Just
superhero movie.
the whole
Very good
trilogy in
Batman
general has an amazing
soundtrack's
soundtrack.
Oh,
really
yeah.
good. I'm gonna go like almost exactly what Jackson said. I'm gonna go 7-8. Is what I'm gonna say. I didn't enjoy it as much
Dude,
as I
I'm gonna
thought I
make it
would.
as such a high school.
Same. Like, oh my god.
I'll agree with Logan in the fact that the suit isn't quite
I
it.
think it's buns, but it doesn't hold the movie.
It doesn't hold the movie down at all. It's just not quite it.
The movie's still really good to me. It's just it doesn't look great. You're right.
It's just not my kind of movie. It was a little bit slower moving. I know I sound like a little child when I say.
I mean,
Yeah.
for an opening of a trilogy, you have to be
Yes,
a
yes,
little
yes,
slow.
yes,
A little slow. Yeah.
All right, go ahead, Logan.
Yeah, I really enjoy this one. It's honestly, I almost like it as much as the next one, but which is a hot take. But
Well, mine's even more
I
of a
like
hot take.
words.
Yeah.
I like listening to people talk.
Mhm.
It's really good.
like this.
Yeah, so all the slow stuff
The other trucks go.
in the middle doesn't bother me. Also, I'm a sucker for a really good origin story, and this is one of those.
true.
I really like this movie. I think the acting is incredible.
one of the best. I'd say this is one of the best casts. Of
Yeah,
a
the
superhero
casting
movie.
is dang near
Batman
perfect.
movies, like
Yeah.
the
I mean,
Batman
it's Nolan. What do you expect?
It's
Nolan,
It's
yeah.
Christopher Nolan, like GOAT.
director who
Right,
can do no
absolute
wrong.
Goat. Yeah, I really like a whole lot about this movie. I'm gonna give it an 8-7.
I'll bump mine up to 8. Screw it. I forgot how good of the acting is.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that.
8-7.
I'm still sticking with 8.
All right,
Yeah, I mean,
Christian.
even all the slow stuff I think is really well performed. So.
Okay, let's give a prediction real quick. I think Christian's going 9-6.
Whoa!
I think
No
Christian's
way!
going 9-6. What do y'all think?
I don't even have the Dark Knight that high. I don't.
I'm gonna.
I'm
All right, Christian. Don't let me influence you. But
okay.
Give it a
No,
chance.
okay.
did you have a number before I said that?
a little bit?
No.
No, it's not.
Was
it
it
was
9-6?
It was around there.
That's my guess.
Okay.
Okay, so I don't think
It's
you
actually
guys.
9-7.
So
It's actually 10.
now you said yours is a hot take. Mine's even more of a hot take. This
Okay.
is my favorite of the trilogy.
Okay.
Oof.
This is my now. Is it the best? I feel like any of them could be argued as the best. I just think this
Yeah.
is my favorite. I've seen this one the most,
Mhm.
and I just genuinely think this is just such a great movie.
Yeah, I rewatched this one probably the most.
I've rewatched this one the most. I find it the most
Mine's Dark
rewatchable.
Knight. I rewatched that one the most.
Yeah, that's fair.
I haven't watched any of them. So.
I enjoy all the villains, even though the villains aren't as good as the next two. Just viewing them on their own, I think they are just really great villains. And this is my second favorite DC movie ever.
Anything with Liam Neeson, I just love.
Yeah. So, and I don't mind the different plot lines, and I don't mind the whole thing of like wondering if Batman's gonna lose, because I'm like seeing a movie like this, you know he's gonna win. It's just a matter of how he's gonna win. So that doesn't bother me. And I think on the whole, it's gonna be such a different one. I'm going because I do think the villains could have definitely been a little bit better. Screw it. I'm going 9.8.
Holy cow! Oh my goodness!
Goodness
That makes me feel better about my 8 score. I
Holy
don't know why that makes me feel better.
my.
Because, well, here's the thing. You want to know the score I had coming into this movie?
Huh.
10.
You were going 10?
What did you give
Bruh.
Infinity War?
I give that a 10.
What did you give Winter Soldier? You give Winter Soldier.
I give Winter Soldier a 10.
9-8. Bold.
What did you give Black Panther?
Oh.
Bold.
9.5.
No shot. This movie is better than Black Panther.
I'm not saying it's better. I'm saying I like it more.
Mm.
I'm not doing mine objectively. Like, there's enough objective stuff out there. Like, if you want to watch this review, it's like my take on it. Not seeing,
Hey.
like,
Stand on your hill. I
Yeah.
respect it.
I'm standing on my
I
hill.
respect it.
I respect it,
There's
but
there's a reason I stand on my hill of, like, still giving Iron Man 3 7.5. Is it objectively that? No. Do I like it?
I think the
Enjoy
first
it?
time I watched
well,
this movie, I
7.5
was thinking
also
something
isn't
like
that like high of a score.
really
That's not that
wasn't
high of a
the
take.
first one.
7.5 is.
But compared to what you guys give, which you guys were, like, the 6 range. So, but...
Oh, I thought you were talking about this movie for a second.
Okay,
No,
No, it wasn't.
No, let's talk about Iron Man 3. But yeah, I'm going to stick with a 9.8 just because I do think
We're wrong.
just because I do think the villains could have been a little bit better. If the villains were like on the same level as Joker from Dark Knight, I probably could give this a 10, but I'm still going to stick at a 9.8. This is my second favorite DC movie and favorite of the trilogy, and I'm going to stick by that.
Holy cow!
Good review.
When you guys were going
Good
through,
review.
you guys started saying 8s. I was like,
Oh,
Okay, so right now I have the 3 scores in my head, and it's going to fall perfectly in line. Just
Okay.
wait for it.
okay. So that'll do it for our review of Batman Begins. Stay tuned for next time where we do what is considered to be the greatest superhero movie of all time. With The Dark Knight.
Oh, I'm so ready.
I'm ready to rewatch that, honestly.
You gotta change. I gotta change the shorts for you.
Oh my gosh, it's so good. It's so good. The opening scene of that movie just sets it up.
I
It's
haven't
like,
seen it yet.
just, oh my gosh.
Like, we don't say what, but that opening scene.
No, it's
It's
incredible.
baller.
Whoa!
It's incredible.
Baller.
For background, before we even get into that, the only stuff I've seen of that are like the memes.
Yeah.
The memes.
The
worst.
There's a lot of them.
There is a lot of them. It is a meme heavy movie.
Yeah.
Which is how it's a sign of a good movie. I'm
Yep.
telling you.
As a big marketing guy, if you want your movie to perform well, you need to get it out on a social media platform.
You sound like a commercial. You sound like an infomercial.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, so stay tuned for next time when we review The Dark Knight. Thank you all for watching, and we shall see you guys next time. You're looking at me like you want to say something else.
No, I'm just listening.
Go watch
Okay.
Man to Man podcast.
Man podcast.
check out Man
Episode, I think it's episode 6. It's about to drop
Yeah.
tomorrow. So
As of recording this.
I'm gonna listen to it
Yeah.
in the shower, like I always do. Morning
By
routine.
the time this comes out,
I get butt ass.
by the time
and I
this
get in
comes
the shower.
out, probably like episode 8 probably about to come out.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But thank you all for watching. We will see you guys next time for the Dark Knight. See y'all later, webheads.
Web gooses.
Web gooches.